I've got another Steve Good pattern today. I love his patterns. Some of them are fairly simple, some are more complex, but they're always interesting. This one is called Nature Inspires, and it's a leaf that's with the cutouts as it says Nature Inspires Me, but the leaf has a backer and a darker color for contrast. I'm going to make the leaf itself in oak, and I'm going to make the backer in sapele, which is a darker wood than oak. It's in the mahogany family, in case you've never worked with it before. It's a nice wood to work with. Now, the pattern itself is not difficult. There's one outside cut and then the inside letters where it says Nature Inspires Me. I wouldn't say it's a beginner pattern, but it's maybe an advanced beginner to a somewhat of an intermediate. But what I really want to expand on today is a technique, and that is going to be stack cutting. I'm going to make 3 of these at one time. So I've prepared some sapele for the backer. I'm going to use double-sided tape on this. So this is a wide board, so I'll put 2 strips of double-sided tape on this one. I think I put a relatively fresh number 9 blade in there last night. I was doing a lot of cutting on another project. I'll soon know whether it's sharp or not. So the Steve's pattern called for 1/4 inch on each of those. I made them 5/16 and decided that was good enough. The advantage of this is twofold. Now there are times when you need more than one pattern or more than one part of a pattern repeat. I just did a project that was a UH-1 helicopter, and several of the pieces needed 2 each of a part. So by doing it this way, the 2 parts were obviously totally equal. Or in this case, I only need one of each part. But by doing it this way, I'm able to cut 3 at one time. Obviously, it saves my cutting time down to roughly a third, not quite, because it's going to take a little longer to cut a 1-inch thick piece with a number 9 blade than it would be to cut a 1/4 inch piece with a number 3 or 5 blade. That's it. We've got 3 of these cut out now, and all I have to do, well, 2 things. One is to remove the pattern. The reason I like scroll saw tape is you pull off an edge like that, and you peel the whole thing off at one time. It doesn't get much easier than that. Now the other thing is we've got 3 of these attached to each other with the scroll saw, with the double-sided tape. This particular one seems to be moving a little bit. Let me go get a little help. That Beatles song with a little help from my friends. Except little help from a screwdriver. Pry it up nicely. Now, once that's done, you need to go in here and peel off the double-sided tape, which is easy enough to do. Like that. Alright, I use the spray adhesive on the pattern. Attach that to the clear shelf paper, and we're ready to go on that one. Now this is going to have all those letters cut out, so obviously each one of them is going to need a pilot hole. I'm going to do that on the drill press. You could do it with a hand drill if you don't have a drill press. Nothing much to see there. I'm just going to do that and then bring it back over here. Okay, drill all the pilot holes. So the next step will be to make all these inside cuts. It's going to take a while. The purpose of this video is not going to be to show all of that. The main purpose of this video is to talk about stack cutting. I still got that number 9 blade in here, and I'll make a cut or two to show you. Alright, I cut a couple letters out. It's going to take a while, obviously, to do all them. And the outside is going to be the same as the other, the backer board, so there's nothing new to see there. I'm going to give you a bonus use for this. That would be these. There's 3 1/4 inch pieces of maple here, and I attached these 3 together using packaging tape. It's another one of the means of attaching patterns to wood, and there's no way you would want to do every one of these individually. The first project I worked on there with the leaves is big, and you could do one at a time, but why? If you can do 3, and here's one that there's no way you would want to make these ornaments one at a time. Okay, I made the center cut, 3 along the middle row, and then there's another 3, 6 on the outside, but you get the idea. And it's going to take a while to make 3 at a time. I don't think anybody would want to make these individually. Took just a little bit of sanding on the back. There's those little fuzzies you always get around the edges. The trickiest part is the inside of the letters, but a little quarter sheet of sandpaper folded in half works fine. So this is ready to go. I got a small dispenser here. I'll get some glue over most of the surface. Make sure you get in between the letters and those inner surfaces so that it gets held together in the middle. Once you've got glue applied everywhere, you're going to want some clamps. I think for this type of item, the best type of clamp to use is a spring clamp. By the time you get 2 or 3 clamps on, it's fine. It's not going to go anywhere. Make sure it's kind of lined up. You're even around the edges, and there you go. It's clamped all the way around. Let that dry for a while. Take the clamps off, and I will give it I will start finishing it.